far as I'm concerned, it was one of the most traumatic moments of my life. Thanks, Florida. So you're thinking of moving to Port Orange, Florida. In this video, we're going to be going over the pros and the cons of living here in Port Orange, Florida. If you want to find out more, make sure you stay tuned. What's up, everybody? It's Jimdin with the For Sale team right here in Port Orange, Florida. If you're new to the channel and you want to know everything about working, sleeping, playing, eating, buying, and or selling anywhere here in the Port Orange or Daytona Beach area, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. We have people reaching out literally every single day, and we love it. Thinking of buying, selling, relocating, anywhere here in the Port Orange area, you gotta reach out. Make sure you shoot me a call, text, email, message in a bottle, or schedule a Zoom in the link down below. However you need to reach us, we've got your back when you're moving to Port Orange, Florida. Let's get into it. So we hit on quite a few areas here in the Daytona Beach area. Daytona Beach, obviously, New Smyrna Beach, and now Port Orange. Now Port Orange, I'd say, is the middle ground between the three areas. You have Daytona Beach, big city, big metro, and lots of things to do, lots of traffic as well. And I guess there's traffic everywhere, to be honest. You have New Smyrna, which is a smaller, sleepy beach town that really comes alive during rush hour. So you got traffic there too. But Port Orange, it's that good middle ground, right? You have the closeness of New Smyrna Beach, but you also have a little bit more of a widespread type of feeling, a little bit more of a metro type feeling with tons of residential areas as well. So throughout this video, we're gonna be going over the pros, the cons, and a couple stories about actual Port Orange area itself, how it is in the actual area when you go out, check out the touristy spots, go out and you really experience the area as it is as a whole. Now, when you're moving from somewhere, say like California, New York, Florida is a different beast altogether. So the number one con that people complain about the most is, I'm gonna say it, and I wanna tell you right from the get-go, is the heat. If you don't like heat, if you don't like humidity, just don't even consider Florida. It's not for you. You're gonna be miserable. The thing is, with Florida's subtropical climate, it is extremely hot and humid. Now during the summer months, you get lots and lots of rain and lots of storms. But we'll touch on that in a bit. Now, I actually moved here from Arizona. Climate-wise, it is a very wet heat. You walk outside during the middle of the summer and I kid you not, you are instantly just drenched in sweat. It's just what Florida is at the end of the day. And it is very brutal if it's not what you're expecting. Now, I understand for those of you that know all about Florida's weather and what exactly it's like with those hot and moist conditions. A lot of people honestly don't. A lot of people that are moving here to Florida have never been out of their own state that they grew up and they were born and raised in. So if you're thinking of moving to Florida and you really want to make that jump into a totally new environment, I highly recommend it. But if you don't think that you can handle the heat, humidity, and you want to do more of a test run, come visit. Just check it out, check out the area, and really see if you can survive the poofy weather, or the poofy hair weather conditions. Next up on this list, we have the storms. Now, I like to touch on weather right from the get-go because it's one of the biggest reasons people move here, right? You're either moving from somewhere that's cold and you want to get away, you want to escape those harsh, brutal winters where you're shoveling up, you know, all the snow that's on your driveway. I can personally guarantee you that if you move here to Florida, you will never be snowed in your life. Blizzards, thing of the past. But what you get hurricanes. Not too long ago, we actually had Hurricane Elsa roar through the state, just in the Gulf side. That was actually my first Florida experience with a hurricane, and it was insane, to say the least. Now here in Port Orange, this area didn't really get hit quite as much. Essentially with Hurricane Elsa, it came in through the Gulf side, up through the Keys, and then kind of ripped across and cut across through, from Tampa. It went across to Jacksonville, and then went up the East Coast as well. Now during the time that Hurricane Elsa was supposed to be coming through the area, I actually had a trip planned to go to Destin, Florida. Beautiful, beautiful area. Emerald green water and super white sand. Absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend checking it out. I wouldn't honestly recommend living there just because the traffic, you think the traffic here in Daytona, Port Orange, or New Smyrna is bad. It is nothing. It literally pales in comparison to what it is over there on the Gulf side. I kid you not. Leaving our hotel was the main road, right? That follows the actual strip next to the beach, and just jam-packed. It was insane. Just tons and tons of traffic. People, pedestrians just cutting across the road left and right every single time, and legally you gotta stop for them, obviously. How this ties into hurricane season here in Florida is on July 7th, we were supposed to be leaving, right? Now, we plan on leaving in the morning time around, we plan on leaving the morning time around 9 o'clock, right? Hurricane Elsa was coming through the Gulf Coast. It just passed Fort Lauderdale the night before, so we were watching the storm and just seeing it kind of go up the coast, go up the west side of Florida, and really just trying to predict where it was going and really see when it was a safe time to leave. Now, initially, before the hurricane came, our plans were to leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, Hurricane Elsa happened to be right exactly where we'd be driving through. Destin, the area that we were going to, didn't necessarily was untouched. No sign of hurricanes, nothing of the sort. But it started to cut across the state and started to move toward the Jacksonville area and just kind of go up. So what we decided to do was we decided to wait just a couple more hours. We ended up leaving, I believe, at around... We decided to wait it out a little bit and head out a little bit later. So we ended up leaving around 3 o'clock, right? Hurricane was already, starting to go past the area, and we thought we were free and clear by the time that we came to that area. Well, we're going up north. We're going to go up through Jacksonville. We're going to cut west, and then we're going to start heading toward Destin, right? As we're going up through Jacksonville, we start getting these... We start getting the radar, or the weather alerts on our phone, right? Not just the little ding, the little notifications. No. We started getting the big, we started to get the alerts that had the same ring as the Amber alerts, right? The serious kind of note, the serious sounding one. We got our first notification about 5 miles away from Jacksonville, so we were rolling up through still, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, right? We started getting literally one after the other, back to back. We're wondering, okay, what's going on here? Now, my girlfriend was driving at the time, and we're coming up through Jacksonville, and all of a sudden we just start to see just lots of trees, branches and such just kind of flying around in the wind. And mind you, there's still a decent amount of people on the road, right? As we're going and we're about to pass through the heart of Jacksonville, the phones are just going insane. I pull up my phone and I check the actual weather app, and it says warning, tornado warning and 4 others, right? I was wondering, well, that can't be too bad, right? I open up the weather app and I start reading through it. And I kid you not, in the notifications, it's saying, warning, tornado has been sighted and it has already touched down. Seek shelter immediately. If you're in a mobile home, if you're in... Literally, it was saying you shouldn't be out. There's literally a tornado ripping through Jacksonville right now. And I pull up the location on where the actual tornado is. I kid you not, it is right where we're driving. And I didn't tell my girlfriend. She's asking me, what's going on? Is everything okay? I was like, no, you're fine. Just keep driving. It's fine. Just step on it a little more. You're fine. It's good. We're good. And so we're going across the bridge. And I look behind, I see a lot of we're going across the bridge, right? And I see behind us, I see a lot of swirling kind of clouds coming around, lots of trees, lots of things. And, you know, things are getting blown around in circular motions. So I pull up the phone, and it says that the tornado's just literally right there behind us. And I just, I don't tell her, just keep going, just keep driving, we're fine, we're doing good. And once we get past the bridge where the tornado area is, I just turned over and I said, you did a dang good job. She said, what do you mean? Well, you just drove through, a couple, you just drove through a hurricane, or you just drove through a tornado, a hurricane tornado. What? Basically, a hurricane came through, tornado touched down behind us because of the hurricane, and it started ripping through the area right behind us. Kind of sketchy, but it ended up making for a really good story. Now, we're going through, I get past, and I tell her this, and she just looks at me, and she's just like in utter disbelief. It is absolutely insane just what Florida can do and what the weather conditions here are like. Now, mind you, if we would have left original timing, we would have ended up driving right through the heart of the hurricane, and it probably wouldn't have been a very good day, to say the least. But if big swirling clouds don't exactly scare you too much, then you're in luck. Florida's just for you. If it's a little too much, you can stick to California, where you have you have wildfires and earthquakes. You can stick up north, where you have blizzards. You got to pick something, and at least this one, it's a little more predictable. And if it gets bad enough, you have enough of an advance notice to evacuate. All right, so our next con on this list is going to be the bugs. It's Florida. I love how, as I'm going through these videos more and more, that my justification for the bad things that are going on here is it's Florida. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's really what it is. I want you to be fully aware of what you're stepping into if you do choose to move here, and it's wild. Now, what I mean by the bugs is the bugs here are ridiculous. Now, it's a subtropical climate, so bugs thrive here. They don't just get big, they get big, right? Picture cockroaches, okay? Majority of places where you live, this is about normal, right? This would be considered, a pretty decent sized cockroach. Here in Florida, this is normal, and they get this big. Might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but you get the point. They're big, they're scary. I want to forewarn you before you move out here and hate me because you never found out about the bugs. But come on, it's hot, it's wet, it's moist. Obviously the bugs here are doing just fine. Another example, the spiders here. Absolutely insane. I've never seen spiders. Now, mind you, I'm from the Philippines, right? Before I moved to Arizona, I was born and raised in the Philippines, and the bugs there are similar to Florida. It's a little bit close to home, but it's not really a piece of home that I necessarily miss because, dude, those things are insane. Now, mind you, the reason I'm not exactly a fan of the spiders and such that are here is because house spiders, I'm fine. I can do that just fine. The little ones, right, that are this big. Oh, that's great. Catch them, let them go, squish them, do whatever you want, right? But I'm sorry, but once those spiders have arms that are bigger than mine, mind you, my arms aren't very big, but once they start to get that size, I'm done. Okay, that spider, just take everything. House is yours. Have what you want. Do whatever. It's good. They get the kind of spiders here that you want to torch the entire place and just start fresh. It is insane. It is ridiculous. And now I play disc golf literally every single morning, right? Out there in the forest and big fields, just, throwing discs, banging chains. And sometimes, unfortunately, you mess up. Now, when you mess up, usually means one of two things. You end up in the water, or you end up in the woods. Now, in the water, It's all right. It's not too bad. I haven't seen any gators in the water yet, but quite often you'll see us in the ponds, just, this deep in water, just kind of waiting around, just stomping on the ground, trying to find our discs, and it sucks. But where it really, really sucks is when you get lost in the woods. Reason being, you get lost in the woods, you're going through, and these spiders, dude, they will make these webs that span from tree to tree. So you have this nice open gap, right? You're walking through, and all of a sudden, you just hear, and all of a sudden, you just feel it. You feel this veil that just randomly just appears right in front of your face, and you feel it engulf and wrap around your head to the point where it almost feels claustrophobic, right? Now, obviously, first initial reaction, you want to just start swatting, you want to get this thing out of your face. Now, mind you, I have long ass hair, so these things get tangled in my hair, and it is absolutely disgusting. It's repulsive, and I can't stand it. Violated. That's the best way I can put it. It feels like you feel violated when you walk into these spider webs because it is awful. The worst thing, though, is when you don't see the spider and you get the web off, and you think you're fine, and you're walking, you're doing just fine, you're back in your groove, you're playing, and all of a sudden the person next to you says, "Don't move," and they start smacking out of your head. What's going on, right? And one good smack and you just see it on the ground. A spider this big that was just chilling in your hair, and it was absolutely disgusting. You want to talk violated? That's even worse, okay? Forget the web. You got the maker right there, and it is awful. Massive ass arms this big. That's an exaggeration, but like this big. It's like, it was like the spider was this big, and as far as I'm concerned, it was one of the most traumatic moments of my life. Thanks, Florida. Now, another one of the big cons here in Port Orange, Florida, is going to be traffic. Now, traffic is widespread throughout the entire state of Florida as a whole. You can't escape it. Orlando, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Daytona, New Smyrna, and even Port Orange has traffic. Traffic here in Florida is awful. And with all the people that are moving here to the area, you have an insane just conglomeration of just different drivers that don't know what they're doing or just are not used to certain styles of driving. You have people that are from the middle of nowhere that have never seen a speed limit sign that's over 30 miles an hour in their life, mixed with people that don't even know what speed limit signs are, and they're cruising by going 90 and, weaving through in and out of traffic. Traffic is insane, and when it comes to a standstill, it's miserable, to say the least. No one likes traffic, but there is a ton of it here in Florida during certain times of the day. Now, mind you, it is nowhere near as bad as California or New York, but I can say for certain it is up there. Just not quite as up there, but it's up there. All right, so here in Port Orange, Florida, one of the biggest pros to this area is the fact that here in Volusia County, there are only 2 dog parks in the entire county. One's located in New Smyrna Beach, that's Smyrna Dunes Park, and then the other location is located right there in Port Orange, which is going to be the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse. Now, I've taken my dog to both of these parks, and he absolutely loves them. There are massive, massive spreads there. You can go out, you can take your dog, you can even go out without your dog and just go and enjoy, relax, enjoy the area. Now, dividing the 2 dog parks is the inlet, and you have a view from both sides. The Ponce Inlet side obviously has the lighthouse that you can go out and check out. Now, I've noticed that the New Smyrna area, the Smyrna Dunes area, it's a little bit more refined, right? In terms of the park, you have the great big boardwalk that circles the area. It goes 1.7 miles around. You have the beach that literally wraps all the way around the tip of the inlet. And then on the Ponce Inlet side though, it's a little bit more of a raw feel, and it really is cool. In one area you have these mangrove trees that are kind of growing up through the roof, or growing up through the sand, and you can kind of go through, wander around through them, and really just absorb the area and just really get a feel for it. Now, fishing here at this park as well is fantastic. You have this insane jetty that is, I kid you not, 3 times the size of the jetty that's on the New Smyrna side. So you can go out and there's a path that actually leads onto the jetty, and then there's the rocks from the pathway on. So it just keeps going and going and going. Fishing is insane here. If you're a fan of boats, you can also check out all the boats that are coming in through the inlet as well. And it is really, it's just a great spot for entertainment and just to take the family, enjoy, and just relax and enjoy the place you live in. Now here at the inlet, you also have the Ponce. You have the actual lighthouse that you can go up to the top, you can check out, you can tour, you can check everything out, and it is an amazing view from the top of that lighthouse. All right, so Port Orange in terms of location, it is amazing, right? So you're right between Daytona Beach and you're gonna be right next to New Smyrna Beach as well, okay? Now, Port Orange is a beautiful middle ground where you have, you know, tons of single family homes, you have tons of just great areas for the school system here. So I used to live in Arizona, which was in the middle of the desert. Super high heat, not too many fresh, seafood and such. All right, so seafood is one of my ultimate, most favorite things ever, okay? Port Orange here, there are a ton of different seafood options that are just widespread. Not only are the restaurants that you go to have fresh seafood, there's a good chance it was just caught just offshore. But if you're a fisherman, or if you like fishing, you like seafood, and you want to catch your own meals, that's something I do almost literally every single day. I'm out there on the beach, I'm out there in the ocean, fishing, throwing my lines out, and just catching dinner for the night. And it's a pretty cool thing to be able to do, and something that I can do honestly pretty consistently, given the fact that there's just so much fish just there. Port Orange has tons of different spots to fish. You can fish, you can fish alongside the river, you can fish alongside the beach shores itself. There's piers, there's docks, and there's little lakes and tributaries that are also there throughout the area. It's the home of massive preserves, tons of wildlife, and it really helps you immerse yourself in the environment and the actual, and absorb the scenery that, that's around in the area. The seafood's fresh, the fishing's good. If you don't like to cook, there's tons of restaurants that have that very same seafood, and they'll cook it, they'll prepare it for you, and they do a dang good job doing it. Or if you're more of a do-it-yourself kind of person, you can go out, you can catch the fish yourself, you can go out, you can catch the crabs, do whatever, and make a really, really dang good meal, and a really fresh one as well. And the last pro on this list is gonna be the people in Port Orange. Everyone here is super, super friendly, super nice, and just goes out of their way to go out and say hi to you. Florida just has a completely different environment that is a lot more friendly, a lot more welcoming. A lot of people are a lot more outgoing as well. They want to, say hi, they want to get to know you, but they at least want to acknowledge your existence. Whereas some areas, they're not exactly the nicest, and it kind of goes to show. If you've been and visited various areas, you've visited Port Orange, this area, it's a world of difference. So those are some of the pros and cons of living here in Port Orange, Florida. If I haven't scared you away yet, and you're thinking of buying, selling, relocating anywhere here in the Port Orange area, make sure you reach out, shoot me a call, text, email, message in a bottle, or schedule a Zoom in the link down below. If you like the area and you want to binge our other videos on Port Orange, make sure you check out the playlist down below. If you want to check out New Smyrna, check it out here. Or if you want to check out Daytona Beach, check it out here as well. If you want to binge watch our other videos, check them out in the link down below. However you need to reach us, we've got your back when you're moving to Port Orange, Florida. Thanks for watching.